Hi everybody, sorry about that. Welcome back to another CYT-Crypto episode. My name is Stephen Aitchison. We had a wee bit of difficulty there just before I was coming on. The kind of whole Wirecast shut down, the whole software shut down. And when I started back up, it just kind of buggers everything else up. So it's really slow just now, so hopefully we're live. Hopefully everything's okay. And sorry about the delay there. But welcome back to another CYT-Crypto. My name is Stephen Aitchison. Today we'll be looking over the markets, looking at Bitcoin price. Bitcoin kind of shot down below the 11,200 that we're looking at as well. I'm just going to see if we're live just 1 wee second, just to make sure. What the hell is going on? I think we're live. I think everything's okay. Just let me know in the comments if everything is okay. Right, okay. That he knows, that kind of makes the intro. And if you don't know Bitcoin Phoenix, you can type in Bitcoin Phoenix, and it's for the Polish community. So type in Bitcoin Phoenix into kind of YouTube search. It's F-E-N-I-K-S. So if you're Polish and you want to kind of get crypto in your language, you can definitely go over to Bitcoin Phoenix. Thank you for something else today, which is really difficult, and thanks for kind of your support as ever, as always. Okay, I'm going to stop talking just now. I'm just going to dive over and see what we've got in. We've got Kim O'Brien, one of the Brown admins, is in the house, just talking just now. Good to see you. Gordy Boy is in. Stephen King is in the house. Crypto Cannabis. Debbie C is with us as well. Good to see you, Debbie. I've seen your photos as well. Nice photos. Andreas is in the house. Nels Bull. Kim O'Brien saying, hit them likes, everyone. Yes, indeed. Go down to the like button. Hit that like button just now. XAFIPM is in. Good morning to you. Kev T is in. Jeff Colquhoun, Ola Brambleber, Axel, Mark Innes is in. Good to see you. Mitch Dieter, High Points Drifter, Matt the Carpenter, Mervyn Skidmore, Lawrence Matthews is back with us. B is in the house. High Points Drifter, all good. Matt the Carpenter live. Everything okay? Cool. Intro was like an annoying alarm clock. Not feeling the intro today. From Kev T, morning all. Jason Clayton is in the house. Stormkeeper is in. Omar is in the house. Gary Stewart is in as well. So welcome to everybody. Okay, we'll go over to what's happening in the markets just now. Not looking good at the moment, unfortunately. However, the alts are coming up, so that's good news for the alts. But not good news for Bitcoin. So we're going to see where that could possibly head. And we said there was two scenarios yesterday. Said if it broke below 11,200, we could be going down to 10,800, then 10,400. Possibly we could go down to 9,800 from here, and I'll show you how in a second. If we said if we broke above the 12,000, then we're on our way to 15,000. That's still going to happen. It's just not going to happen just now. So we are at 10,610 aggregated price across the board. Biggest gainers, we've got Bitcoin Gold, Educare, Steam, Chainlink, Bitcoin Cash, Aurora, Ethereum Classic, Bitcoin SV, BitTorrent, Bitcoin Diamond, all up just now. But we've only got about 20% up at the moment in dollar value. In Satoshi value, you're going to see a different scenario. See who's down in dollar value. ABBC, Bitcoin, XMAX and Komodo all down 10%, double-digit reds, which is not good because I called out Komodo yesterday as a possible contender for a big riser, so I called out yesterday. But BTC value, let's look at from that point of view. And we have about 90% in the green. And this is Satoshi value. So if you're trading, obviously you're trading for more Bitcoin, unless you're trading your favorite alt and you're trading for your favorite alt. But if you're trading for more Bitcoin, so it's better for you if you're trading in Satoshi. Who's in the red in Satoshi? As I said, only about 9%, 10% or something in the red in Satoshi value. So that's good news. They also starting to go up in Satoshi value. Okay, all of the cryptocurrencies, we have 2,447 listed on CoinMarketCap, and well, Bitcoin dominance of 67.6%, didn't look at that, but 67, so it's gone down by a percentage point. Okay, over the last 24 hours, and who has gone up? Bitcoin X has gone up 177%. Bitcoin File has gone up 94% on high volumes as well. APIS is up 59% on 159,000. We'll just look for kind of the market cap, see if we've got any under 5 million. We've got Unification up 53% on 352,000 volume. We have ERC20 up to a 9% on 115,000 volume, 1.5 million market capitalization. So what's that in BTC value? Just have a wee look, see if that changes things. Content box. It's an interesting one. I don't know if that's the one I kind of looked at before last year. So nothing much there, to be honest. But so that's what it's looking like. We're looking for hidden gems here. This is why we look at the all these ones trading over $100,000, and you'll probably find ones that are trading just between 50 and 100,000 that are hidden gems as well, which could be quite good. Crypto bubbles. Crypto bubbles are on the red, but this is for the month. I thought we'd take a look at it over the month, see what's done well over the month, see what stands out. We've got net, obviously, or next, sorry, over the last week, 18.8%. Is this a week or the month? Yeah, it is a month. EKT, Educare, has done well all throughout the month actually. And Clippercoin, they kind of stand out. All the rest are in the red. If you look at over the month, nothing is really doing well over the last month or so. This is in dollar value, obviously. So this direct correlation between the dollar value of Bitcoin and the dollar value of the alts as well. But we'll look at it over the last 24 hours. Looks a wee bit better. I was still in the red mainly, and over the last hour, we're kind of turning greenish. We're getting a wee bit green. BCN kind of standing out there like a sore thumb. Same with the Aurora coin as well. But as I said, this is in dollar value, it's not in Satoshi value. Because the dollar value of Bitcoin has come down so much, the dollar value of the alts are going to come down as well, obviously. That's why I like to look at the kind of Satoshi value. So I don't know if the crypto bubbles are going to get the Satoshi value, if they're going to bring that in. Hopefully they will. Otherwise it's not totally useful. Who else is in? G-Slick is in. Tony P is in the house. B, Coinbase, Barclays. Is that a story, a news story? I haven't heard of that. We'll have a wee look in a second. Okay, Bitcoin. What is here? What is happening with Bitcoin just now? I'm going to go to the 4-hour chart. So we mentioned this the other day. There was an ascending triangle with Bitcoin, and it looked as if it was going to break out around about the 11th of August. From there, and it did, but it broke the other way. We thought it was going to break out the 12,000 mark, but it didn't. We said if it kind of broke down here, it's not looking good. However, then when it did break down, it kind of broke down on the 10th of August, a couple of days ago. When it did break down, we said that the support, we could see clear support at 11,200. If it broke that, then we're clearly going down again. But where are we going down to just now? Or where is the bottom for this? Well, if we look at the bigger picture, look at the macro view, we can see within a bigger ascending triangle here, much bigger one. And if we go to the daily, we'll see that more clearly. So this daily ascending triangle looks as if we could go down to around about 9,700. If it was to fall today, 9,700 would be the support for that. And then as we go up to kind of October-ish, we've got the apex there, but 9,700 could be the bottom for Bitcoin if it follows the kind of same pattern. Again, obviously it's kind of broken out here at the 12,000 range, but that's when it kind of reached its peak. So just now we are in this ascending triangle, the bigger one just now, and we could fall down to 9,800. I would say that would be the lowest we're going to fall down to. Anything below that, then goodness knows where it could go after that. Probably talking around about 8,800 again, if it was to fall below that. But we're not going to get all doom and gloom. We're not going to get all doom and gloom just now, because it's nowhere near that just yet. But it's a correction that's happening just now. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But it doesn't look good for Bitcoin at the moment, but good for the alts. So we go to the alts market just now. We look on Binance in particular. Okay, so who's the winners and losers? Dent, we're not going to include Dent because that's on a 1 Satoshi move. It's just moving between 4 and 5. So that's why it looks as if it's a big move, but it's not really. And it's been 4 and 5 for a while actually. I don't know what Dent is going to have to do to make it kind of move, being really honest. But trading between 4 and 5 just now, been like that for a few weeks. Yeah, between 4 and 5, not really gone below that. Could still go lower, possibly could still go lower. I hope not. I hope not for anybody holding this, but could possibly still go lower as well. Okay, Bitcoin Gold has gone up, obviously with the Bitcoin drop. Bitcoin Gold has gone up 23%. We'll go to look at on the 2 hourly. So it's moved up 23%. Link has moved up as well, which is good. Good to see. We're talking about Link yesterday and how this could be really good to get into at the moment as well. So Link crossed over a wee while ago on the 2 hourly chart actually. We'll go to the 4 hour, like to trade on the 4 hourly if we're longer term trading. Okay, so it seems for Link we've got a kind of bottom here, a support level here around about the 20,000 mark. So that's good to know for the future as well. Navcoin has gone up as well, 15%. That's jumped up as well. That's just crossing over on the 4 hourly. It's got a history of these kind of peaks as well. So 133, 210. So that might jump up even more, Navcoin, before coming back down. It's got a history of peaking, but it doesn't look like a peak. It looks like a pump and dump, to be honest. There's a pattern there of pump and dumps for NAV. So NAV could be a pump and dump, but set your kind of sell price as soon as you get in as well, if it is going to be a pump and dump. Bitcoin Diamond is up 15% as well. Matic is up to 161. Called that the other day as well, 132 in the premium group. ERD called that yesterday at 22, I believe. So it's gone up a few percentage points already. So managed to make a few calls yesterday, which was good because I've not really been able to make calls because of the kind of Bitcoin price going so high. But because Bitcoin price has come down, then it's good to have made, I think, about 7 calls yesterday. And Satoshi value, we don't do dollar value, we do Satoshi value. So there's a few paid off already. We're just going to look at, I've called them anyway, so we're going to look at them. I've got a new way of reporting as well. I don't know if you've seen this, if you're in the premium group, I've got a new way of reporting this. So what I'm doing now is I'm recording the lowest price within that 10-day period, and I'm recording the dates of the highest price, date of the lowest price, and I'm also doing the drawdown. Now the drawdown, normally, if we're talking about drawdown in kind of investment terms and talking about from trading point of view, normally if you're trading in a fund or something, they have what's called a drawdown. What's your maximum drawdown? They like it to be round about no more than kind of 10, 15, 20%. So the drawdown I'm doing here, the way I'm calculating it here, it's not the peak and the trough, which they normally do when you're kind of investing in funds and stuff like that. But what I'm doing here is recording the lowest price and taking that away from the call price, and that's going to be the drawdown from there. Because if this was to shoot up by 500%, let's say it was to go to kind of 500 or something, and the drawdown would be much, much higher. So it would look worse than what it actually is because the price of this kind of went so high. So we'll just do this for example. QKC, say it hit 500, and the drawdown price we'd have to do differently. So it's have to do D3. You see the drawdown would be 236%. So that's no use. That's no good as a figure in and of itself, and when we're looking at that. So the drawdown is calculated slightly differently from what a normal fund would be. A normal fund would be looking at collectively. I don't know if you're interested in this, but if you're in a premium group, this is the way the drawdown is calculated. So we'll just kind of Control Z that and go back. So that's how the drawdown is calculated. So it tells us if you'd kind of hit the stop loss first before it kind of went back up. So we can see here there's a couple of drawdowns, 5.3%, 12.9%, 23%. and I've not got the dates in here because it's not finished the full 10 days yet. So to make it the call within 10 days. So there's a couple of them that's jumped up already from yesterday. LRC jumped up 17%. There's 0% drawdown just now because it just almost kind of shot up as soon as I called it. Same with ERD, it's went up 13%. It kind of went up when I called it as well, so it's not gone down below the 22 where I called it. And EVX kind of gone up, and that's not got a drawdown of 0% as well. But we have RCN 23% up, drawdown of 11%, and Matic up 26%, but drawdown of 23%. So that's the way I'm recording, and I'll do this. It's going to be a lot more work for me to do, but that's fine, as long as it's going to help the premium group, going to help the members of the premium group as well. There's something else with the premium group as well. I might have to reopen it because a lot of people didn't, and I've just realised that once you kind of signed up for the free videos to get into the premium group, is to give you free training first of all, then you can decide to get into the premium group. Not everybody got the kind of videos or the email sent out for the second and third videos. Well, most people didn't. When I went back into the system, most people didn't get videos for that, so I do apologise. I don't know what it was, I don't know why that happened. I think it was because I added them after I'd done the first kind of part of the sequence. So I might have to reopen the premium group. I'll just do it for a couple of days and I'll send an email out to everybody if you still want to join the premium group. And it's not for any kind of marketing purposes, it's purely because it was my mistake and nobody got the second and third videos. And I don't think everybody in the premium group has got the training kind of email either, whereby you can get access to all the training as well. And I'll be adding to that this week as well. So apologies for that. Okay, I'm just going to jump back in. So is XRP a security? That's the question just now. I'm going to have to look at that, G-Slick. That's a big question. James is in house. Good morning to you. Yes, I've seen Nav on those pump signal groups. That's probably what it is. It'll be a pump signal group. But look out for it, because pumps, if you're in it, just set the kind of loss or set your kind of stop loss straight away as soon as you get into it. Always has been a security. James, Link occasionally, Wabi quite often too. Honest Crypto Journey, good morning to you. Good to see you, Stuart. And Jay is in the house as well. Okay, the question. Ripple, obviously, I was going to look at this as well. XRP classified as exchange or utility token by Financial Conduct Authority. But I'm not going to look at that at the moment. There's a bigger story kind of coming out just now. That was one of the stories I was going to look at as well. But this is talking about negative interest rates. And I first seen this I think it was yesterday on The Moon was talking about it. And it was about another country offering negative interest rates of 0.5%, I think it was, that The Moon was talking about. And so effectively, if you want to take out a mortgage, you can get a mortgage for minus 0.5%. So effectively, they're paying you for it, something like that. And it's a strange way it kind of works, but obviously it's to stimulate the economy. And the way it stimulates the economy, if you've got a minus 0.5% interest rate, it means your saving rates, essentially you're paying them if you're trying to save. You're paying them to save your money, and you're going to lose money if you're saying that. So what you have to do with your savings, you have to kind of reinvest it into something else, which effectively stimulates the economy. Or that's the theory behind it. So there's a couple of countries in Europe that are kind of doing this. So recent use of interest rates at minus 0.25% in Sweden and minus 0.75% in Switzerland has been hailed as a good economic decision. Many experts have argued that this will be a short-lived change to stabilise the Eurozone economy. So this, as I said, is to stimulate the economy again. So imagine if you have, say, £100,000 in your, or £1 million or something in your account, in your savings account, and you were previously getting maybe 3% on a high interest rate account, which you probably wouldn't get just now actually. Now, I don't know how it's going to quite work with the savings, but now they're actually going to take money off you for having in your savings account. So effectively what they're wanting you to do is take that £1 million out and say, okay, I'm going to put it somewhere else to hedge it so the price will go up. Where are they going to put it? They're not going to put it in the stock markets, because the stock markets are going to shit just now. And they're not going to put it in FX or currency, because currency is going to shit just now. What's going to happen? They're going to look for something else to put it into. Bitcoin could be the perfect place to hedge, or the perfect place to save money and make money, instead of this kind of what they're doing just now with the savings. But this could be short-lived, but you could get more and more countries doing this. So the move towards negative rates has been pressed forward through a paper submitted to the International Monetary Fund. The paper argues that negative rates are possible by moving governments onto digital currency systems. So eliminating cash allows governments to impose negative rates on all deposits, thereby driving investors out of savings and into economic investment. The thought is that such investment would move the economy forward effectively by force. So the economy would effectively melt up. Investors would be left with no choice but to move funds out of negative yield savings and deposits and into other assets, driving up the value of assets. So could this be the kind of start of the end for fiat currency? Because of digital currency and the money that's saving, or the amount of money and time and effort they're saving to go digital, then it's going to save a hell of a lot of money. This is why they can afford to say, okay, we're going to offer, say, a mortgage at minus 0.5%. And you go, holy shit, so they're actually paying you to take a mortgage out at minus 0.5%. It's kind of crazy kind of way it works, and it kind of goes, it's counterintuitive, but I can understand totally how it's going to work for the banks, etc., the governments, etc., to stimulate the economy. And then people are going to take money out their savings and go, right, where do I park my savings money? Where do I park my kind of pension money? And the hedge funds are going to have to do the same. The big, large institutional investors are going to have to do the same as well. Not that they would kind of put their money in a bank anyway, because they would do other things, but they're going to have to look at that as well. Where's the money going to flow to? Digital currency. So could this be the end, or the start of the end of fiat currency? It could well be. It could be the start of the end of the dollar, the euro, the pound, whatever it is, the Australian dollar, the Hong Kong dollar, just everything that's going on in the world just now is pointing to something huge happening in the economy. Something huge. Now, I've not looked at the stock markets for a while. I think they're going back up again. But we'll look at the world stock markets just now. Dow Jones. At the moment, this is on a daily, 26,279. It's not fallen by that much. The Dow Jones, S&P 500, same again. Nikkei 225. There's Nifty 50. It's not going up by that much. New Zealand is the only one that's kind of going up. The Hang Seng Index way down, obviously. The troubles that's going on just now. And the DAX down as well. Kospi was the FTSE 100 still down as well. I thought it jumped up a wee bit. Now gold, I would imagine, has still got on the up. Gold is on the up as well. So my thinking is, and I would imagine this, a lot of people will be thinking this, is gold or precious metals, gold and Bitcoin or digital currency. This is where we could see kind of cryptocurrencies really coming into their own. When this kind of happens all over Europe. If this starts to happen all over Europe, then it kind of crosses the world where other people are going to, or other countries are going to offer negative kind of interest rates. And it's going to be kind of crazy what happens, I think. So it's something to think about, and it's something I never really thought about before. Because I never thought in my lifetime I'd see negative interest rate. I didn't even think it was possible to do that, but I can understand now, kind of having looked into it, how that is possible if they're going to go over to a digital currency system. So just wonder what your thoughts are on that. Obviously there's a lot more to it, and it's a lot more complicated than I'm kind of making out. I'm just kind of really simplifying it. Just now, I'm just going to have a wee kind of look at this as well. If it comes up. So it's just saying here, this is a kind of report as well. It's just saying, asking the question, central banks face a dilemma. How can they cut interest rates enough to stop an economy sliding into a recession? So you'd think, I thought, oh, we're never going to see kind of 0% interest rates. And then you've got it just could go into turmoil. Everything could go into turmoil. In the US, it was 2.5% before the recent reduction. In the UK, it was 0.75%. The solution we will almost certainly favour is deeper negative nominal interest rates. So this is a good kind of report to look into. The origin of the belief of negative rates as well. So I would look at this. I'm going to post a link to this down below as well. But it kind of raises something that I didn't really think of before, that a lot of other people didn't really think of before. But once kind of Sweden came out, and then Switzerland came out and said they were offering negative or minus 0.75% interest rates, you just go, how is that possible? And you kind of understand it, and you kind of understand where the economy is going as well because of this. It doesn't bode well for the economy. It doesn't bode well for the economy at all. James, negative interest rates are insane. How is this even legal? When Bitcoin crashes, all cash gone. Says B. We haven't scared more time to buy that castle, Steve. Yeah, it might be getting cheaper than we thought. Honest crypto journey. Would people that are unaware of crypto not just put their savings into property, especially given negative interest rates on mortgages, driving the property markets and creating another property boom? It could be that they do something like that as well. And this is where I think there's going to be a lot of education. There's going to be a lot of people. There's a lot more people know about Bitcoin just now. A lot more people on the fence about Bitcoin and kind of investing in Bitcoin just now. They're on that fence. This is going to tip a lot of people over the side of that fence. Just go, okay, it's time to get into Bitcoin. Or it's time to get into cryptocurrency. I would say Bitcoin is the one that everybody knows. Or most people that don't know about cryptocurrency or don't really know that much about cryptocurrency know about Bitcoin. That's the one they kind of all know about. So that's why I'm saying Bitcoin. But I still think Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, that will kind of filter over just by a process of kind of osmosis. Once you get into Bitcoin, you start to research it on your own. And then you start to see other kind of ones as well. And then you start to go into kind of news sites. You start to join premium groups and stuff like that as well and get to know more about it. That's when they'll start to invest in Ethereum, Cardano, Litecoin, Binance, XRP. They'll start to invest in all those ones as well. But I would imagine at the beginning it will be Bitcoin that everybody goes into. It's heading that way just now. It just looks as if we're on a path for Bitcoin just to kind of shoot right up. Although the economy is taking a hit just now, and the economy probably has to take a hit for that to happen to Bitcoin. But make no mistake, it's kind of heading. It's not looking good at the moment for the economy just now. It's certainly not looking good. Stephen Motor said, what do you think of BNB and if it is still worth holding? Yes, just now up until I'd say kind of the end of August, and then I'm doubtful. Well, I'm not doubtful. I'm just wondering. That's probably a better word. I'm wondering what's going to happen with the volume of trading on Binance. However, I still think they will survive and thrive in Binance. And we're talking about the US investors leaving on 12th of September or not being able to trade after the 12th of September. I thought there'd been a big rush up on the alts until the 12th of September. But after the 12th of September, I really don't know what's going to happen with Binance. I think there's going to be a period where it goes down until they stabilise, until everybody figures out that everything is actually okay. We've got enough liquidity within the countries that Binance is allowed on just now. And I still don't know if Binance has got something up its sleeve or not. So I'll just be careful and look at the charts with this, with BNB. It's going up just now. I think it's at 270,000-ish, 272,000. And that's on a daily. On a 4-hourly, cross back up over at around about 256. So still worth a buy at the moment. And if Binance come out, and I suspect, I have nothing to back this up whatsoever, I suspect CZ is going to come out before the 12th of September and say, actually, we've got this in mind that could negate the US investors leaving. And I don't know what that could be. I've tried to rack my brains trying to think of a solution that could happen. Don't know what it is, but if it does come out, then the price of BNB is just going to skyrocket again, up to the kind of 400,000, 500,000 level again. But honestly, I don't know what that could be just now. But I don't think he's just sitting there twiddling his thumbs, waiting until the 12th of September and then saying, oh, we'll see what happens when they leave. I think there's something in the air or something afoot that they're doing. Now, Bill, Morpheus Labs to deploy Chainlink on BPAS platform. I've seen that the other day as well. I've seen the news for that. Also, are you worried about the Wink Win airdrop for Tron holders? Yes and no. Yes and no. I know they've got this kind of billions of kind of Wink tokens, but that's why I said to everybody, this is a huge risk. So I would not get into Wink at the moment. It's a huge risk. So yes, there's going to be more in the kind of marketplace just now. I just think, having looked into it a wee bit more, I think the amount of transactions that's going through, the amount of people that are playing just now on the Wink platform, I can only see it getting bigger. So I think it's not a short-term hold by any manner of means. I'm only hoping it outgrows kind of XRP and Cardano, the ones I got out of to get into it. And as I said, it was hugely risky, and I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. I wouldn't recommend it certainly in the premium group as something to do, because that would be risk level kind of 10, 10 being the riskiest. And what I do in the premium group when I make the calls, it's risk level kind of 3 and 4, because you're only going to lose 4 or 5% if you ever lose on a trade. But you could gain 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 100% even on some of the calls as well. So risk factor 10 for Wink. But I think in the long term, what I see is happening could be really good, but I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. Crypto Don Juan is in-house. Good morning to you. David Claydon, do you think the lack of Binance iOS app is because Apple, being American, won't approve a crypto trading app? Yeah, I don't know what's going on there, to be honest. But no, I don't think that's to do with it as well. Binance iOS app, being American, won't approve a crypto trading app. Oh yeah, just with regards to the app itself, yes, I think that, but I don't think that's anything to do with the amount of traders and kind of trading and stuff like that. I think there's always kind of ways around that as well. And when somebody wants something bad enough, like I've kind of got the app as well, when somebody wants something bad enough, obviously they'll be able to get it somehow, or they'll be able to find ways around it as well. There's still a lot of ignorance when it comes to crypto. This is from Honest Crypto Journey. I had a 24-year-old pupil a few months ago, had never even heard of Bitcoin and crypto. They were clueless. That shocked me. I think a lot of people are like that, Stuart, to be honest. I think there's going to be a lot of people that just don't know about kind of crypto and Bitcoin as well. They've heard of it. They might have heard of it, but they probably don't know about it. In fact, not a lot of people have. Last year, we have a kind of annual party. We go to an annual party as a barbecue thing that we do every year. One of our friends who has it, and we're going kind of this week. Last year when I was talking about kind of crypto, nobody had really heard of it. We're talking about a group of 20, 30, 40 people. Nobody had really kind of heard of it. So I'm just wondering if it's going to change this year. I'm just wondering if people will kind of, it's the same group of people, every year. So I'm just wondering if more people will have heard of it. Because undoubtedly it will come up in conversation. So it'd be interesting to see kind of what happens. We've been going for the last kind of 3-4 years, I think. So, and 3-4 years ago I was talking about it, nobody was even interested, but a couple of people last year were interested in kind of talking about it. So it'll be strange to kind of look at that as well. But yeah, I think I don't think people realise how much the economy could go down. It looks kind of on paper, if we're looking at it, if we look at the kind of Dow Jones, if we look at the kind of FTSE 100 as well, it just looks as if it's going up and down just as normal. But it just seems to me underlying there's going to be some almighty crash for this, and I don't know how it's going to affect the markets, and it probably will spill over into the crypto market as well, because people will be running scared. But where do you put your money? Really, where do you put your money when everything crashes? So property prices, it might be that property prices go up because of this, because people are putting the money into property. So it could be that there could be another kind of boom in property prices as well. So we need to wait and see how this transpires, but it's going to happen over the next months and years, the next couple of years. But probably within the next couple of years, the space is going to look totally different, I think. And it's not all doom and gloom. I think it's good for crypto, but in the short term, it could be really bad for the economy. Kev T, do you think 2019 will see a bull run similar to 2017, or will 2019 be a year of slow recovery from all-time highs per previous run? I think we're going to get an all-time high by the end of the year for Bitcoin. I think there will be an all-time high. It's just a matter of time, literally. It's just a matter of time. And I'm not worried about kind of Bitcoin going down. I'm not worried about it kind of dropping off the face of the earth and not existing. It bothered me before. Like 3-4 years ago, I thought, is it still going to be here in 4 or 5 years' time or 10 years' time? But now I'm just taking it for granted that it is going to be here in 10 years' time, unless there's something drastic to happen that the governments around the world got together and just banned crypto altogether. But that would just not make sense whatsoever. It just wouldn't make sense. So from that point of view, I think it's definitely not going away. We're talking about the long term, but by the end of 2019, I think it's just a time. This is going to be the wake up time for it, and it's going to happen towards the end of 2019, and then we're going to see another boom. 2020 is going to be huge, but we said that about 2019 as well. That 2019 was going to be huge. So I guess we'll need to kind of wait and see what happens, but I still think we're going to hit an all-time high. So we're going to surpass 20,000 by the end of 2019. That's my feeling. B Gold saying with thumbs up. Nah, I'm still. If we look at gold, see if we kind of look at gold. If we look at gold, if you invested in gold, we'll go to the weekly even. So if you invested in gold in 2015 and you're still in it just now, you'd be up 47% for 3 years, 4 years in 2015. And that's when it was kind of coming down. However, I suppose if you invested it in September 2006 and you got out, say 2012, 6 years later, you come out with 252%. You'd be extremely happy with that. You put $1,000 in, you get 3,252 back, or 3,520 back, or something like that. You'd be happy with that. But when you see the kind of crypto and what is possible for crypto, then I wouldn't be putting money in gold. There's no way I would be investing in gold. What's the highest it's going to go? Gold, obviously, its all-time high has been $1,900. $2,000, it could go to $2,000, $3,000, $4,000. Even if it did get to those kind of prices, we'd have to go to the monthly just to even get it on scale. To get to 2,800, just to get to 100% of that, would be 100% kind of gain. For that, you can get much more than that in crypto. So there's no way I'd be putting my money in gold, even if it did kind of reach its all-time high. If people are saying gold is finite, I can understand where that's coming. There is only so much gold in the world, but it's not been found yet. So there's always going to be big finds of gold in the world as well. There's always going to be big finds of gold. With Bitcoin, it's not as if there's going to be big finds of Bitcoin. That truly is, but you can't go out surpass 21 million. That's not the case with gold, because there's always going to be big finds of gold as well when they're doing the kind of gold mines and that, when they're still looking for gold. That's just my thoughts on it, but I definitely wouldn't be investing in gold. Silver, maybe. Maybe look at that, but not gold, but I still see that silver is the same. Honest Crypto John, they'd never even heard the word Bitcoin. You could see a haze descend over their eyes. They were a working professional. They couldn't grasp the concept. Talk about it still being early. Oh, it's totally still early, but we don't realise that because we're so entrenched in it just now. And James, exactly, we're still quite early. It's gee, so many people think it's all BS. Yeah, Your thoughts on BTC at the moment? BTC at the moment, where is it headed just now? BTC USD. So that's a monthly, I'm not talking monthly. Long term, definitely, it's definitely going up. There's no question in my mind it's going up. We are at 10,560 just now. On the 4 hour, we've crossed down over, so it doesn't look good on the 4 hourly. On the hourly chart, doesn't look good on the hourly chart either. We'll go down to the micro. So if I was going to get into Bitcoin, I'd be waiting on the micro 15 minutes, crossed down on the 50 minute, 11,396. So that's where we should have kind of shorted round about here. 11,300 should have shorted here. That's where we would have shorted. And we'll wait on it crossing over on the 50 minute before we even think about going long again. Or before I would think about going long again. So it doesn't look good at the moment, to be honest, DJ. However, I'd kind of set prices here. That's on the 15 minute. We'll go to the daily again. We're talking about support here as well. We've got the 10,000 obviously, that's a kind of psychological support level. We've got supports then there before that as well, around about 10,400. We have supports then around about 10,400, then 10,000, then 9,800, and we've got support kind of going all the way back to 8,800. Short term, it doesn't look good. I'll be playing it on the 15 minute and just looking at the 15 minute chart and just kind of using that as a guide. So what happens on a micro usually tends to focus and kind of spill on up into the macro level as well. So pay attention to the 50 minute chart. I would wait for the 70 EMA crossing over the 50 EMA before, if you're looking to go long. If you want to go short, I'd still be in a short. If I was in just now, I'd feel comfortable being in a short position just now. I wouldn't feel comfortable in a long position. I'd wait for that. So it still looks as if it's going to go down, possibly to 10,000. But you never know. We thought it was going to kind of break up above the 12,000 before it broke down on this kind of descend or ascending triangle. So at the moment, it still doesn't look good. It still looks as if we're going to go down a wee bit. But I still think 9,800, 10,000 is going to be the bottom for it before it bounces back up. And just my thoughts on that. Yeah, so that's it. Just now, I didn't realise the time actually. I didn't realise I'd kind of been talking so much. So I'm going to leave it there just now. I didn't get that. Glad you got it, man. Best movie ever. Oh, is this talking about Serenity? Can't stop the signal. B, I'm talking about buying and storing gold in my safe. When everything else goes to pot, it's a safe currency. Ah, right, okay. I thought you were talking about trading it. Okay, I'm going to leave it there just now. Thank you very much for watching. And before you go, hit the like button if you can do that. It does help the channel. And yeah, and that's it. Until another day tomorrow. I keep forgetting it's Wednesday. I keep thinking it's Thursday for some reason. Okay, I will see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Until then, namaste. Take care. Bye now.
Here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the round pegs in the square holes, the ones who see things differently. They're not fond of rules, and they have no respect for the status quo. You can quote them, disagree with them, glorify or vilify them. About the only thing you can't do is ignore them. Because they change things. They push the human race forward. While some may see them as the crazy ones, we see genius. Because the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do.